So welcome guys, let's do a battle cast, and you can already see Frog in the background, and that tells you I'm going to play Norsca and we are going to face up against the Empire. So I missed Norsca so much, it felt so incomplete the last several months, so I'm so happy to get Norsca back, and this was a great game over here. I had a great opponent, so please enjoy this battle cast, and yeah, let's directly start with my army composition. And if you're going to face up against the Empire with Norsca, it is not necessary, or it's not the best decision to bring a lot of large entities, because the Empire has a lot of tools to handle that. So we have handgunners, we have hammer of witches, we have net of Amentok and all that stuff. So I brought off a lot of infantry units over here, and let's directly start with my front line. And I brought Norscan Marauders, and even the Chaos Marauders are, in my opinion, it's the same unit, but it's in my opinion these guys are really cost efficient. So they are quite low tier, the stats are quite low, but when it comes to the cost efficiency, they have a melee attack of 34, and as I said, I think for that price the performance is quite decent, and I love to bring a very cheap front line in addition to that more heavy stuff in the back line. And I brought these Marauder Champions over here. Also, these guys are not causing nearly no armor piercing damage, but therefore where they are quite heavily armored, so heavy, have an amount of armor of 80, and you don't need too much AP damage against the Empire. The most heavily armored unit you are going to face up probably are the Great Swords. They have an amount of armor of 95, so you should be able to handle this. So it's in the most cases not necessary to bring a lot of AP damage against the Empire. On each side I brought two Marauder Berserkers, so overall 4 groups, and these guys have a huge weapon strength of 57 and pure damage dealer overall. Of course, nearly no armor, nearly no melee defense typically for damage dealers, but therefore they should slice and dice all infantry units that are low on armor. So against low tier infantry units, or against infantry units, as I said, that have nearly no armor, these guys should perform quite superior, especially against swordsmen, spearmen and all that stuff. These guys are really designed to slice and dice units like this. You already saw Frog, so nothing new, and we have here a Shaman Sorcerer with Law of Death, and I made a mistake, so never bring a Shaman Sorcerer on foot. You need at least a little bit more mobility, or a little bit mobility, so always bring him on a horse. So it's not really a good decision to bring him on foot. I cannot recommend that. Then we have 2 groups of armored skin wolves, and yeah, these guys are, in my opinion, a counter pick against the cavalry, against the Empire cavalry. So you're probably going to face up against the Demigryph Knights, Knights of the Blazing Sun and all that stuff, and these guys are really good pick, or really, yeah, I wouldn't say counter pick, but they perform really good against especially against cavalry units. And then last but not least, I have a Skinwolf Verikin. In my opinion, is the Skinwolf Verikin one of the strongest heroes in the complete game. So we have a huge performance against large entities, monsters, lords and all that stuff. So he's quite high priced with 1100 credits, but overall I would say it's always worth to bring if you're going to face it up against, yeah, maybe in every matchup. So you have against lords, heroes, as I said, the performance is really superior and he's worth every penny. So let's come to my opponent over here. We have a huge front line, a very wide formation, and this is a mix of Great Swords with Swordsmen. And Swordsmen are, in my opinion, one of the worst infantry units of the complete game when it comes to the cost efficiency, because Swordsmen are the performance is very bad. I would replace the Swordsmen with Spearmen. Spearmen are much more cost efficient even against infantry units. But anyway, Swordsmen should trade quite even against Marauders, so for that purpose these guys should perform quite good in this matchup. And here we have Sigmar's Sons. Of course these guys should slice and dice Marauders, but more important are the Great Swords over here. So he has a lot of Great Swords, so it's not so easy for me to break through the front line, and my infantry should really struggle against this massive wall of Great Swords over here. Then I have on each side, or my opponent, the Demigryph Knights. Here we have the Royal Art of Gryphites, very expensive, but he expected large entities, so it's my opinion okay to bring them, but quite expensive, as I said. Then we have a Grey Wizard. I would have brought the Light Wizard, but also the Grey Wizard is okay. Then we have Handgunners over here, 2 groups. It always depends. In this matchup, the performance is not the best, because I don't have large entities, and against infantry, handgunners are not designed really to fight against infantry units. But against large entities, against mammoths, giants, and all that stuff, they are really necessary. So 2 units are, in my opinion, okay. Then we have a Great Cannon, and I would have paid the extra charge for the Hammer of Witches. It's, in my opinion, always worth to bring the Hammer of Witches against Norsca. But anyway, Great Cannon is really good, and you need a cannon. A cannon is really necessary against Norsca. And then last but not least, we have the General of the Empire on a Griffin. Okay, let's start over here. You can already see I dispatched my Skinwolf Verricans over here to attack or to flank him, and attack is rolled out of Griffites. But I saw he started to cause some harass damage in my infantry units, and dispatched my Skinwolf Verrican over here to hunt down his General of the Empire. Now we have a charge in over here, a very wide front line. Marauders against Swordsmen, and of course, as I said, the Sigmar Sons should win against the Marauders, of course, but the normal Swordsman should trade quite even. Now we have a very good Pendulum. Very good. Tremendous amount of damage to my units. Very good of my opponent. Then we have my answer is a Fate of Buna on his Greatswords over here, because my units really struggled to get through over here. It was not so easy. Then here in the back line, I directly sent it Frog through the front door to attack this cannon group over here, because I thought, okay, I have to send these cannons offline. Of course, I don't have too much large entities, but I thought, okay, let's directly walk through the front line to kill these cannon group over here. And here a very wide fight going on. So I already took a lot of damage from the Demigryphs, but also the Demigryphs took a lot of damage. You can see that these guys melting away. Now one group of Skinwolves get terrified, unfortunately, and we have also these other Demigryph Knights. So two groups of Demigryph Knights are too much for 2 groups of Skinwolf armored Skinwolves, but I also have this Skinwolf Verrican over here. So overall, I would say we trade quite even, or he won this fight because of the Demigryph Knights. But very important was, of course, that I damaged this Royal Art of Griffites very much, so this was quite good, even if I lost it. So on the left flank I lost the fight completely, because the Greatswords and in addition with the General of the Empire were too much. But you can see he landed now with the General of the Empire, and it directly sent a Frog to attack the General of the Empire, and never do this. Frog is on a skill level like Kolek. You can say we have an amount of a weapon strength of 500, 370 armor piercing damage, bonus of nearly 30. So this is incredible high stats. The performance is incredible. Never fly with any Griffin, any Lord against Frog. A few hits from Frog and you get erased. So I damaged him really much. So he now routing off, but he's still alive. Overall, I managed it in the middle to walk through the front line, to break through the front line. Of course, I directly attacked the handgunners over here.
Kill them all! Boy, now!
Miss Shaman Sorcerer is also... advantage is when the Shaman Sorcerer is on foot that he's very small, so he's not a big target. It's not so easy for the Griffin, for example, the General of the Empire to kill the Shaman Sorcerer. But overall, as I said, very slow, so always bring him on a horse. So as I said, the handgunners, the performance was not the best against infantry units, because as I said, I don't have mammoths, giants and stuff like that, so this was an advantage. So my Skinwolf Verrican still fighting his Royal Art of Griffites, and as I said, the performance is superior. In some cases you can also bring 2 Skinwolf Verrican. He's a monster. You can see kills one model after another. It was very good, even if he's also quite heavily damaged. So we have a he's just the half, is half on health, so also get a lot of damage. Here's a wild fight going on against the handgunners. The handgunners are going to lose this, of course. A big problem was, of course, the mobility of my opponent. He has a lot of mobility with the General of the Empire. And this is a problem because I don't have flying units, I don't have cavalry. So my only answer was Spirit Leech. And now we have one over here casted on directly on the General of the Empire. Of course, it's not really popular. In some matchups, in my opinion, it is necessary. Especially Spirit Leech is not so overpowered. More OP is, in my opinion, Fate of Buna, but it's also quite expensive, so I just casted one Fate of Buna in this match. So the rest of his army is here. We have still the Sigmar Sons, we have Great Swords over here, and still this General of the Empire is very low on health. We have just an amount of 300 hit points over here, and he's causing a lot of trouble. My my Marauder Berserkers melting away, get terrified, routing off, and also my Marauders, so he broke up everything over here. But now we have another Spirit Leech from my Shaman Sorcerer, and the General of the Empire is going down. But he has still a lot of infantry units left on this side, and but I have Frog. I have a very healthy Frog. Frog is full of health, I would say, and now he's of course attacking his Great Swords and all that stuff. And this is the biggest advantage, as I said, that I have, that his Frog is still so healthy. And still I have a lot of infantry units left over here, the Marauder Champions, Marauders, and so the balance of power shifting more and more in my favor. And now still the last rest of his Demigryph Knights fighting in this blob over here, but now my Frog is joining. And that's it. GG, well played. So as I said, nearly no AP damage in my infantry core, but as this combination performed quite well, I would say. That's a very cheap combination. A lot of Marauders, a lot of Marauder Berserkers, and Marauder Champions. And you can see on the kills, this performance is quite good, I would say. Also Berserkers, of course. I would say the Marauder Berserkers are the best infantry unit of Norsca when it comes to cost efficiency and performance. We have a huge amount of kills over here, but also the Marauder Champions performance was very good. As I said, they are very heavily armored, so not so easy, of course, except for the Great Swords to handle it. Also very good to my opponent. Thank you for that match. It was quite close in my opinion. It was not so easy. You can see how much kills the Great Swords made, and a very good performance of the Great Swords, and also the Demigryph Knights. Everything traded quite even, I would say. I would say the Spirit Leech or the death of his General of the Empire made the difference at the end, and also that I had a really healthy Frog, and his Demigryph Knights were really heavily damaged. But anyway, thank you for tuning into this episode of to this Battlecast. Let me know what you think in the comments, and see you next time.